Hello everybody, this is Crumster018, and this is going to be my thoughts on... Oh good, it's working. It's going to be my thoughts on My Hero Academia Season 3, Episode 5. Figured I'd go on and get this one done while I'm waiting for a video to edit. I just got done editing Episode 6, but I'm going to have to wait on doing the compressing it. Unless you guys just want me to upload it without having to worry about that, but still. Anyway, last episode, Deku almost got himself killed, but he managed to pull out a win and knock the villain out. And he went and left with Koda, jumping off the cliff while carrying Koda. Thankfully his legs are not broken, that's why he decided not to break his legs. Thank goodness. Hang on, let me make sure. Why is that not working? Please don't tell me the stupid... Okay, never mind. For a second I thought that my episode 6 had not rendered properly and it was corrupted. No, I'm looking at episode 7, the one that's rendering right now. Let's see, episode 7, and episode 5, I'm sorry. I'm getting myself all worked up. Hang on. Oh yeah, sorry, I was looking for episode 5, and I was trying to find it, I was like, wait, I'm looking at season 2, why am I looking at season 2? I'm gonna ignore this. Sorry, I opened up the episode so I could check. Anyway, we get back to the episode where, Aizawa ran out of the building and Dabi got him with some fire, and we actually get back to see what happened, and like a pro, Aizawa had jumped in out of the way and was hanging from the roof of the building with his capture scarf, whatever it's called, and he actually managed to defeat Dabi. Even though it wasn't actually Dabi, it was a clone created by Twice, who many people say reminds them of Deadpool. Any particular reason why? I don't really watch Deadpool or know anything about the character itself. But yeah, he can make clones of someone and then make clones of the clone and so on and so on and so on. But when they're, they can only take like a certain amount of damage before they're destroyed. So, let's see. And from what I can tell, it seems like Twice has a bit of a split personality type thing. If that's what reminds you guys of Deadpool, then I didn't know that Deadpool had a split personality. Anyway, this episode essentially features Class 1B taking a little bit of a step up and going after the person that's creating the poisonous smoke, poison gas, whatever. Actually, it's not really poison gas, I think it's sleeping gas, essentially. I think. If somebody could clarify that for me, that'd be great, but... Anyway, I didn't mention this in the last episode, but we find out that one of the targets of the, the villains is Bakugo. And Midori found this out because when he was fighting Muscular, so yeah. He ends up running into Aizawa with Koda and gives Koda to Aizawa and tells him a few things and tries to run off, but Aizawa told him to get a message to Mandalay, and the message was that everybody in Class 1A and Class 1B are allowed to use their powers to fight back, and he will take full responsibility for it, because usually they're not allowed to, but in this circumstances I think they're allowed to. At least according to Aizawa, anyway. So he ends up relaying that message, and the message that the League of Villains are after Bakugo, but he tells them Kachan, which he doesn't give the actual name because Mandalay doesn't know who Kachan is. She doesn't know it's Bakugo. But she relays this, and everybody realizes this, and Bakugo gets annoyed because they were told to fight first, and then he was told not to fight, so yeah, he got annoyed. And they end up he and Todoroki end up, Oh, by the way, I have a question. Who is Todoroki carrying in this arc? Because he's carrying somebody. He's not carrying Kaminari. But who is it? Is it someone from Class 1B? That's the only other thing I could think of. Because Kaminari is with Kirishima and the others. Anyway, Midoriya ends up relaying this to Mandalay, and we find out that Spinner is actually following Stain's ideology, because Magne tries to go and kill Deku because he was able to not only beat Muscular, but he was also on Shigaraki's kill list. And Spinner stops him. Oh, just so you know, Magne is actually a transgendered man to a woman, so you can't really tell, because he's not dressed like it, but apparently he wears dresses. I don't know what he looks like that, but it kind of makes me think, I don't know. Anyway, Spinner stops him and tells him that Stain, this was essentially one of the few people that Stain wanted to save, wanted to keep alive. And he was going to follow, he was trying to say that he was going to follow Stain's will, but he got cut off when he got hit, and so did Magne, so yeah. And while Aizawa was heading back to camp with Koda ends up saying that he hopes that Deku's going to be okay because he never got to say thank you for saving him, and I'm sorry for punching him. I still can't believe that's the first thing he did to greet the students, was to punch Deku. But yeah, Aizawa said that he sustained those injuries because he's not planning on dying anytime soon. He's planning on living, and hang on, let me go back to the rest of the episode. Oh yeah, anyway, back to Class 1B. Kendo and Tetsu go to try and find, the person who's creating the poisonous gas, and it's the guy in the suit with the mask. Actually, not the suit, it's the person in the mask with apparently a school uniform on. Either high school or middle school, I don't know which, but it seems like it's the same uniform that Bakugo and Midoriya were wearing. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is that a student that went to the same school as them, but went to the villain side? If that actually is the case, huh. Who would have thought that those two didn't realize it? Anyway, they go to try and stop the person who's creating the gas, and, like a coward, instead of using his quirk against them, which he actually still was because he was creating the gas as he was going, the guy decides to pull out a gun and try and shoot Tetsu. And, Tetsu's quirk saves him from that, but only for, at some point it's gonna break. And he also ended up shooting Tetsu's mask off, which was protecting him somewhat from the gas. And thankfully, before he could end up hurting Tetsu a lot, or him succumbing to the gas, Kendo shows up and starts using her quirk, Big Fist, to blow the gas away with her, And it actually works, and Tetsu is able to get the drop on the guy, and punches and breaks the mask, because if a gas user is using a mask, break it, because then they succumb to their own quirk. So yeah, they take this guy down and stop the gas, thank goodness. Let's see. Oh, the last thing, sorry, I was going through the episode looking for what I needed to talk about, because I wanted to make sure I didn't forget anything, maybe. Last thing is that as Midoriya is running, because he had ran past, the two villains that Mandalay and Tiger were fighting, to try and, I guess, find Bakugo, and he ends up running into Shoji and Tokoyami, though more Shoji at this point, and we find out that apparently that hand that, a villain was, please correct me if I'm wrong, but it looked like he was eating it? I really hope I'm wrong on this one. I really do hope it. Because in one of the episodes, we find that Bakugo and Todoroki ran into the guy with the strange, creepy-looking bodysuit on or whatever. they find him by a severed hand on the ground, and I don't know what he was doing with the hand, but it was very creepy sounding. It sounded like he was eating it. But please correct me if I'm wrong, because I really hope I'm wrong. But anyway, that hand belonged to Shoji. It was one of the duplicate appendages he had created, but thankfully it'll grow back, which is good. And because of this, when Shoji got hurt, Tokoyami got mad and lost control of Dark Shadow, which he was already trying to keep in control in the first place because they know it's dark outside. And, well, Tokoyami's in trouble. He's in very big trouble because his quirk is out of control and it's huge. And that is how the freaking episode ends. So yeah, I had to do a clip. I was stuck with a cliffhanger at the end of that episode, so I tried to keep going at that point. Anyway, I'm glad the Class 1B was able to get a little bit of spotlight on this, because it doesn't have to always be Class 1A, you know? Anyway, that's about all I have to say. If any of you guys have anything you want to say, feel free to say it in the comment section, and I will see everybody next time.